Their lunch is being made. They want to see some bread go together while they're here. Come on in. All right, so we're going to hook up our mixer once again. Throw this together. My buttermilk should be a decent temperature. Right now, we're moving on to potato rosemary right here. I'm going to go ahead and double this. So, I need 3 cups of mashed potatoes. Let's get the clean service. I have, I'll tell you what, when I go to retire, I'm going to be so superb. I've gotten to there, because I've cleaned it back to myself for years, raising 5 kids, but now that I have these, and I've been 3 years down the rest of them, and I tear them back, kitchen out. I say, okay, thanks guys, you know, it's wonderful. I just love it. It is nice. Okay, hot mashed potatoes. Come on in. Come on in. It's all good. We're all fine. This is hot mashed potatoes. I raised 5 kids. Dinner was a 10-pound sack of potatoes. So I feel sometimes they eat them all, sometimes they didn't. You never knew. So you learn. You got that many kids. You do not throw food, okay? So you don't. You figure out how to use your leftovers. Hot mashed potatoes. Save your mashed potatoes after dinner. Stick them in the microwave, get them good and hot, okay? And then I need butter. And mine is, this is real butter, it's just ripped this off. For this one, I'm going to have 2 cups of butter. Like so. We're going to throw that in there. We're going to lift our bowl.
Does it matter what you put in your mashed potatoes? Like if you put butter and milk in it,
I always do.
it doesn't matter.
No, it's all fine. It's all exactly what it is. Okay, so we've got our butter and our potatoes in our mixer. All right? So now we're going to mix those together real well. Let me get my butter.
Butter and potatoes.
Now, has everybody... Have got to wash your hands. Right over, yes, because you're going to be sticking your fingers in some stuff. Okay. I know. Okay, so yes, and because this is the only way you're going to learn it, is if you feel it. So what we got is I've got this to where it'll work. It's not really warm enough. I'm going to go kind of, we're going to change something here. Just real quick. The reason is I didn't realize the potatoes online were quite hot yet. So I'm going to pull a little bit of this out of here. And I'm going to microwave it so that I have the heat that I need to wake up my yeast, okay? I'll just take a minute.
Okay.
You don't need a lot of warmth. Your basic science of your bread is warm moisture. No, there's no water in this recipe we have right here, even to wake up our yeast. We're going to cut right to the chase and skip the part where you warm your yeast up on the side. We call this softening. Does everybody, okay?
Why are you skipping that?
Because that's just how I wrote this recipe. It just,
So you don't need to warm it up.
no, but I need my warm moisture, but it doesn't have to be water. My warm moisture in this particular recipe is butter and mashed potatoes and buttermilk, okay? This buttermilk here is not warm. I just pulled the chill off. You can just use room temperature. It's fine, okay? So,
It's okay. I clean it up.
we need our 8 eggs. Just a minute. Can I have those eggs? I want all the ones. All right. There we go. Now, a lot of people, they'll tell you when you're baking, the eggs have to be room temperature. That's nonsense. And here's the problem. Here's the problem. If you leave, and hear me in the restaurant business, I have got to follow safe food practices. It's the law. And you all better be glad. It is the law. And if I pull my eggs out at room temperature, and I get busy doing other things, do you want the eggs that I serve you and use in your food sitting out for 2 or 3 hours? This is a real good way to get a foodborne illness. And so we don't take any chances. Okay, we got some good heat going on now. That's what we want. Okay, so we're gonna slap that in there. We're gonna turn on our mixer just to incorporate that heat in there, okay? Oh, that rosemary, isn't that a beautiful thing? Okay, now we've got our board. There we go, stick your finger in there. Now, toward the back of the thing there, that's the heat I'm gonna use to wake up my yeast, okay? Now, your recipe isn't gonna show as much. Do you have recipes? Because I got it. Okay, wonderful. Your recipe isn't going to show using as much. Now, my recipe shows 18 teaspoons of yeast, but I know that a third cup is 16 teaspoons. I got my paper for my yeast bag. That's nice. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go all like so. Don't drive yourself crazy thinking that you have to have the exact amount of yeast. Little bit extra yeast is good for your digestion. Anybody that has a septic system, did you know? Don't buy that Rinnex. It's expensive. It's terrible expensive. Yeast. Don't just pour yeast directly into your toilet and flush it. Wake it up. How we soften that yeast? Wake up some yeast, put it in your toilet and flush it. You'll never have septic problems again. Yes, you'll still have to get soaked on occasion, but it takes care of all of that, okay? Now I need to get my flour. Yeah.
And then you're gonna pass out the card with the number for that, because I don't got it now, the snow's gone, I gotta call that number.
Yes, well, my husband pumps them. It's why I know anything at all. You know, I never knew any of that before. Okay, so we're gonna add some flour. Our warmth is still in there. If your recipes and your cookbooks will actually tell you to wait, but we know we don't have to, right? We're gonna add a bunch of flour, because we know we need it. We're gonna pour our buttermilk in. Okay? And then we're gonna go ahead and put our eggs in there. You can basically turn any bread into a vegan bread. It's no big deal. You can make an egg replacer out of flaxseed, but there are plenty of vegan recipes out there. My cranberry walnut is a vegan loaf, okay?